squandering
when you look,
of the
when you
people's
look at
money.
when you look at the $20,000 that you'll be giving, which amount to billions of dollars, it would be better you use that money, because when you have that lump sum, you'll be able to do something. You'll be able to ensure that people can get some medication when they go to the hospital. You'll be able to ensure that a little more comfort, a bed is there. You understand? So many things. You could ensure that, you know, our students are in a better condition in some of the classrooms.
Yes.
A number of things could have been done with that money, and the people would get a better benefit from it, rather than you come now and trying to curry favor with a $20,000 in other people's hand, because you're saying that they did not benefit from the
first $20,000
and all sorts of things. Just one whole bag of nonsense. I think the Prime Minister really run out of ideas at this time, and certainly, you know, 9 years at the helm, you know, when you're under pressure. It's not like a PJ party.
You realize that the launch...
And it was a job, while it's a tough job, but he had so much deliverable. So election after election, he could come to you, whether it was basically broadening the cell phone, building out the infrastructure there, whether it was the motor vehicle policy that he opened, whether it was the drug for the elderly program that was there, whether it was the tourism enhancement, whether it was highway, ring road in. We're not talking about one little road, we're talking about highway, ring road in the entire Jamaica, whether it was the JUTC that PJ had pledged on Peter Phillips when he was then minister, that they will do this for the Jamaican people. They had those deliverables, those things which was tangible. So when they were going to the poll, when PJ was going to the poll, he was going there with a body of achievement. Sister P as well had a lot of achievement going in, but
Conrad,
you know, a lot.
I'm wrapping up, but we must touch on SSL before. I don't know if you also heard today that they launch another road program. So they have Speed, Reach, Sparks, and you know that they launch another one today. Well, it's going to be out next month, a $1.1 billion road patching program. But SSL said that they're going to pay out some money in May. What are you getting from that?
Well, the amount of money that I hear is about $500,000. $500 million. I forgot the figure, but it's some 500 something. But a very paltry sum. You know, the money that SSL, amount that SSL said that they have in hand to start the program is not even amounted to one of the serious contributors in the scheme money. But they said that's what they have to date. So that money is what they said they were able to salvage so far. I was asking the question.
You heard that figure? You heard that figure?
Yes, it's I think it says 500 million.
No man, 500 million could have paid the bill. 500 million is crazy money, you know. 500,000 US.
500,000 US, I think. Yeah.
But that can't.
500,000 US.
That can't start pay a bowl. Now 12 million bolt lose.
Yes. You know, that's the figure. That's the figure.
Tell her. Don't go so.
So all in all, it seems as if this is not going to go anywhere. But you know, the Prime Minister came under pressure because he was asked. He didn't say anything to the investors and so on. So I don't know if this is a way to say, listen, here we are.
Somebody saying 500 grand, 500,000, Colin. That can't be.
500,000.
That's a $500,000 US. Where am I go with that?
US. $500,000 US.
That can't.
So it's you know, I think the interim manager.
Yes.
He was saying that, you know, they need to wind up the whole thing. So they are moving with this. And you know what they're doing, they say they're going to prorate what they are basically offering in this tranche and so on. And this is supposed to begin in next month, in May, by the end of May also. And he also said that people who have not submitted their claim, they will not benefit from this tranche if they come in afterwards. So all in all, this SSL thing continues to be a mess. I think you may be hearing from both lawyer et al. Very, very soon because they must be quite dismayed.
No, the news said that he asked for the figure.
All right. Thank you very much. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Right here on Caribbean Radio HD. What an afternoon. And for those of you who are watching, you can see that I am wearing a special tie. No, I did not go to Titchfield High School. That's not my alma mater. But I have strong ties with the Titchfield High School. So even though I never go there, I have strong ties. Like up the video, people. Titchfield High School, I want to congratulate them this evening. And every time Titchfield get to the final, I feel a sense of achievement. I feel that sense, yes. And I feel really good when Titchfield does well in school challenge quiz. Really, really good. I feel it. I feel good. Yeah. So I saw them this morning celebrating and gallivanting, and I am happy. Very happy for them. I don't care what the circumstances that took them to the final.
Now,
the fact is that they got to the final. That is what I am happy about.
morning all. Morning all. Morning all. That is the energy. I'm really feeling that energy. I want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. Anytime one of you do well for your school, you will be representing your school for years to come, and you need to always have that energy. In keeping with the celebration, I'm inviting each and every one of you next week. There will be some questions at the devotion, and if you know the answers, there will be a reward for you. That's all I'm going to say. So in keeping with the spirit, and pat cover boss, what am I? Pat cover boss. There is something important about being unique. There is something very important about being memorable. When I leave here, I will always remember the Pat Cover twins. But remember this, in all your efforts, all your endeavors, as you go to take your exams, as you prepare for life, education will be the reason why you escape the realities of where Jamaica is right now. I just implore you to continue to strive, do your best, and there is greatness among us. My vision and my wish and hope is that each and every one of you will be lawyers and doctors. But wherever your dreams lie, I really hope that you get there, and whatever I can do, you can count on me for that support. Blessings. And congratulations to the teachers of Titchfield. A special congratulations to Chase Roberts, the coach, and the other coaches, and fans, and Alpha fans. Big congratulations to them because it takes hard work. And let me tell you something, when it is your destiny, God will do everything to ensure that what is for you, no man can stop. Never forget that. Blessings.
Sounds and scenes from Titchfield High School this morning after winning the TVJ School Challenge Quiz competition.
Before I move on,
I have to
you
congratulate
mentioned
them.
that million US, and I remember the Minister of Finance then suggesting that the government now wouldn't have to pay staff; they would use that money. Why wasn't that money
Hold on.
directed to
Let me stop
the
this
victim?
first.
Well, that question is...
Let me stop that. That was Titchfield High School celebrating this morning their second hole on the TVJ Schools Challenge Quiz title. The second time they are grabbing a hold on that title. So I'm just wearing this tie this evening in respect and congratulating Titchfield High School, the teachers, the coaches, the student, and the parents for bringing this kind of joy to Portland and Eastern Portland, because I know a whole heap of things will win around here. So when we have this kind of victory, we have to celebrate with our students, and we want to thank them and big them up. And so now people might wonder why I'm saying that I feel a sense of achievement whenever time Titchfield come up trumps in school challenge quiz. They have been to a number of finals. And the second time they are winning the competition. Yeah, man. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Is this Colin Bell's program?
Yes, it is. Colin Bell Show.
Oh, okay, I'm just calling. It will not be in your division, but I'm just asking if you could just pass on a message to Indiana to be a community there with that MP that will be going against Norman Dunn.
We are talking about Chris Brown.
Pardon me?
We are talking about Christopher Brown.
Right. But
Yeah,
I am
man.
in Kingston now, but I am from there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't have a vote there, but I have a family then there.
Yeah.
And it's a little district in the parish of St. Mary, then call it Rosemount.
We know
I don't know if
Rosemount. Yeah, man, we know Rosemount.
Jesus, man, ask if you could do something. The road is like not even donkey can walk there.
Road bad.
The road bad.
Well,
And listen, we have few votes in there. The community not big, but every vote counts.
so tell them, say all of them to vote for Chris Brown.
Exactly. Me just ask if it tell to just make him go in there go look to me, because me say me not so now.
All right.
But
So
if him go in there go look, I personally can get all of them to vote for him.
all right. Beautiful.
Because me go there very often, planning to go there in next month. But the road bad, me
want
come
fix.
the road bad.
Road
bad.
one fix. Understand.
I may ask you to just ask Chris Brown to go there, go swing can do. If I chose little mile now,
Yeah.
until then,
All right.
just
cool.
figure even scrape the road and
No,
show a
but-
little
but-
mile now.
But Chris Brown would have to do that all time pocket, you know. Chris Brown have no
Pardon me?
access. He'd have to do that all time pocket. He don't have no access to government funds, you know.
Yeah, but if I
Who-
the little mile
who
and
is
just
the
something to
councillor?
just make the road little better. No,
Who is the councillor for that area?
but we appreciate that. But
Who is the
just-
councillor?
You know, me don't, as I say, I don't really know. Have we called his name again? I know his name, but I don't really remember it now.
All right. Find out the councillor and let me know.
All right. I
cool.
will do
Yeah,
that. Yeah?
Yeah, man. So we still in a big up Titchfield High School for their win over Jamaica College last night. I saw a TikTok video. I don't know if that was in the TVJ newsroom. Oral Tracy was a part of it. And they were hurt. Titchfield, you bun them. I saw it on TikTok. Then walk around the TV and then go sit down. Yeah, man. One Titch. Big up on yourself, Titchfield. I have 3 children who have been to Titchfield High School. My eldest child, that's my daughter. Nikki's a past student. Javid only did 6th form at Titchfield. Nisa did the whole gamut from 1st form straight to 6th form. So, and then I have a niece. Well, 2 nieces. 2 of my niece them. Well, I will a niece me have a got Titchfield. If me have go to the niece part, right? It's a whole heap of them. Whole heap of nieces me have a got Titchfield. Because Beppo have 1, Valin have, Lord, Hodet have 2. It's a lot of nieces. But I still have a niece who is presently a 6th former at Titchfield High School. So my connection with the school is strong. And then I would have told the story 1,000,001 times. How we started back in 1995, what we call the Portland Primary School Quiz Competition. And that competition was done in order to see Titchfield one day win school challenge quiz. The first time Titchfield got to the final after that, all the students were product of the Portland Primary School Quiz Competition. So I know wherever Captain Baker is, and Captain Baker is also a host on Caribbean Radio. Captain Baker was a part of the team. Miss Maxine Samuels was a part of the team. Tamika was a part of the team. Professor Gizmo. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio.
Evening, Colin. Good evening. Good evening.
Wagwan, Mash.
Medea, man.
Blessings, man. Talk to me.
I am one of them who have to say congratulations to Titchfield.
Thank you very much.
Because, truth be told, I am a San Diego supporter.
Oh,
well,
wow.
So, under circumstances,
yes.
So, we have to step aside. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, we have to say respect to San Diego. If you find out that you are in the wrong, then San Diego did the best that they could have done in the circumstances. To step aside. I will respect that.
Yeah.
But nobody can take away nothing from Titchfield because they had to go into that match last night and they had to fight hard, which they fought hard and they came out on top. So all praises to the Titchfield High School, the staff and the teachers.
But
and well done to JC.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
There you know. We have got sympathize with one of our good friend, you know.
How would that know?
Tell you so. My good friend of him I listen. Before me call him name, I think him I gonna know. One man named Lambert Brown.
A JC pass through that now?
Yes, man. I'm a friend, man. I'm a friend. Let me tell you something. Me and the man are friends. We are talking about friend, right?
Lambert can angle it.
Yeah?
Lambert can angle it. He can angle it.
Yes, I don't call him yet, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Titchfield. Congratulations.
Thank you,
now,
man.
and to another matter.
Yes, Servant David, big up yourself. Thank you, Servant David. Go ahead, Marsh.
Now, I tell you, what going with social labor right?
How name, sir? How you call, sir?
Eh?
How you call, sir?
SSL.
How social labor right down there now? Then I said them
that's what it means, you know.
Them said them a pay out $70,000.
Yeah, did you look at the abbreviation SSL?
70 million, sorry. Yes, me hear about it.
Yeah,
social labor
right. Then can't call no PNP name tonight, you know.
Talk to me.
Right. Remember said the PNP did shut them down, you know.
Yes. Under Dr. Peter Phillips, a lot of restrictions was placed on SSL.
One liar gets up in the Senate. One liar. He don't know to tell lie. He get up in the Senate and say after what happened, The
Yeah.
PMT never do anything. May I talk about Abka Fitzhenley?
You see, I don't know what they have done to the Senate.
Yeah,
They have done
guy
some.
is such a guy is such a liar.
They have done some serious disservice to the Senate by
Yes.
putting idiot
Yes,
and
and
I was one of the person who was saying that Morgan deserves a Senate seat, you know, but him in there make a fool of himself, man.
Well, no one who always saying deserves something because in really fight.
In bad for them,
fight,
yes,
right?
bad for them a lot.
Hey, but boy, he might let you down too, but
Yes.
that is cheat and that. What am I going to know? What? Because when I check out like the interim manager and those who in charge of SSL, I think they are what you call a zeroologists, you know.
Oh, you explain that. What's the definition of a zeroologist?
Somebody who can work out your money to nothing.
Well, him say have 500,000 US that he's going to distribute now. I heard him with Simon Crosskill today. I want to play a little piece side for my listeners them so them can hear a little of the discussion that the trustee, and I would dare say trustee in bankruptcy, spoke with Simon Crosskill today on Power 106 FM about his role and what he's doing. And one of the sad things is that Simon asked him about when they got the $1 million, if that is what if they should just pay out that to some people, and he agreed. But some other people not think said that they should pay out to the people them or them wrong.
But
go ahead, Marsh.
Tell me something, Colin.
Yeah.
Like when somebody take over in a situation like this, don't like whatever asset they have, those assets would be sold.
That is his responsibility to gather up all that he can gather up, liquidate them, and pay the people who have been wronged. But one of the questions I didn't hear asked today is what is the value of whatever asset that SSL would have if they have any asset leave.
What they do with the premises? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like some sort of wind the thing coming in on the line. I struggle to hear you.
Yeah,
but
struggle.
The compound.
One of the
things. Them not sell the compound.
One of the things that they said it was not owned by SSL. They had leased it. That's one of the arguments I hear.
Because what? I don't know. I don't know if it's my phone, Colin. I don't know if it's my phone, but I'm struggling to hear you. So now I just quit this call and
I wonder if you hear me any better now?
That's better. You have a fan inside here?
Yeah, man. Me just turn it way.
Your fan mark GLT?
No, nothing in my house can. Nothing in the studio can mark GLP. Nothing in the studio can carry that mark, my brother.
I just pull in your brain.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, so I was saying like the premises and them things that those things would be sold. But the money would come together.
But the information that we have is that they did not own that premises. They had leased it.
Okay. So these guys prepare themselves for everything.
It looks so.
Yeah, because to them know the premise is gone. So what them have now?
And that's what we want to know. We want to know what it is that they have left. Is the $500,000 the only payment that is going to be made? You know, because $70 million is a little bit of money.
Yes. Why thank God?
Yeah, man.
I wonder if that could be one of the things where throw off Mr. Bolton. I'm not saying so, but
you mean the father?
Together, you know.
Then the father must did that thing about that, man. Father must did that thing about that.
When you look and see your son work hard, you know,
and the money
just some guys just come together and gone with it.
Me worry about it and I know my son.
So your son work hard, you know,
and the money
just some guys just come together and gone with it.
Me worry about it and I know my son. Me feel a way about it and I know my son.
Exactly so. And what about that elderly lady? We take the 60 million?
About 70 million she have in there.
Yes. And they tell the man tell the woman, says she not to worry. The money that came on, that could be true.
You see, there's a whole heap of things where we need to know and we have to find out. Lots of things, Marsh. We have to find out.
All right.
Yes.
Give thanks, my brother.
All right. Bless up yourself, man.
Yeah,
Have a
man.
great day. Good.
Blessings. Lots of questions to answer. But as I said to you, Simon was talking to the trustee earlier today.
The claimants. That seems like a drop in the bucket to me.
Well, it is, yes, but it is what we have been able to recover by a mechanism that would have been implemented following the resumption of my duties after the May 31st, 2024 ruling by the Supreme Court.
So, when you talk about these funds, this involves selling computers, desks, whatever assets the company had?
No, well, this was really a management fee mechanism that we use. You may recall that in September 2023, SSL received an insurance payout
of $1 million US.
$1 million US. Now, those funds were utilized during the temporary management. So when I resumed my duties, those funds were fully depleted. I have sought a mechanism to recoup some of that funds to be able to make a distribution to the actual victims of the fraud.
Before I move on, you mentioned that $1 million US, and I remember the Minister of Finance then suggesting that the government now wouldn't have to pay staff; they would use that money. Why wasn't that money directed to the victims?
Well, that question is best directed to the former temporary manager and the FSC. My approach would have been to earmark those funds for the victim, which is why I've sought to recover some funds to put into that pool. So I basically started from zero and built up to this $500,000, whereas at that point they had the $1 million and it was utilized to pay staff and other temporary management expenses.
But weren't you a trustee at that time?
Yes, I was a trustee at that time, but the court, you may recall,
yes,
the Financial Services Commission applied to the court and got an injunction which prevented me from discharging my duties as trustee.
And that was overturned by Justice Batts?
Well, it was not so much overturned. He confirmed my appointment, that my appointment was valid, and ended the temporary management.
How many claimants are there who are going to seek some compensation from this fund?
All right, so this is specifically for those persons who may have been defrauded by the activities of Ms. Gina Panton, who is before the court, as we know. So it's just specifically those. And based on information available to me, I anticipate it will be less than 100, maybe closer to 50, but we will see.
Have you been able to claw back any of the funds from the accused?
No.
Wow. How did the 500,000 come about?
All right. As I indicated, the temporary management team, they utilize certain funds, both from the insurance proceeds and from what we will call the proprietary estate of SSL, and perform services that benefited what we refer to as the off-balance sheet unaffected claimants. So there are some services that SSL is still required to perform for certain clients. During the temporary management, those clients who were able to complete their arrangements during the temporary management did not have to pay a fee, but it meant that the burden of the cost then fell on the victims because the funds that could have been used to make a payment to the victims was used to cover the expenses. So the beneficiaries during the temporary management absorbed none of the costs. And what we have sought to do is to sort of rebalance the position so that at least there's some pool of funds available to the actual victims. So the victims now have a pool that they can participate in. It's small, granted, but it's a start.
All right, I'm going to ask you to hold the line, but it does seem like, with people like Bolt losing billions, it's like getting bulla for your birthday cake. But I'm going to ask you to hold the line. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we continue speaking to the trustee of SSL, Cadian Campbell. Stay with us.
So we're listening to Simon Croskill talking to the trustee of SSL, because SSL is now saying that they are going to be paying out some money. Remember, yesterday evening we had promised
that we will be bringing on Senator Norman Grant to talk to us a little bit about agriculture and coffee, because there's nobody on the island of Jamaica who knows about Jamaica's coffee industry more than the Senator Norman Grant. So we're going to be talking to him at about 4:30, 5:30 in the US. So we invite you to shout up some friend, let them know, because there's this argument going around about coffee and that we can make much more from coffee. How much is it that we are making now? How much we really can make if we maximize the possibility of earning from coffee in Jamaica.
8:55 a.m.
So we want to go back to a little piece more of that interview with Simon Crosskill and the trustee in bankruptcy of SSL, and hear his argument. And you heard a little while ago about the $1 million that they had received for insurance that was
All right,
not
we're back.
passed
We're
to the
speaking
people.
to Cadian Campbell, who is the trustee for SSL. Cadian, in terms of the amount of money that you've been able to gather so far, why not more? Why isn't there more available?
Well, the base from which we have recovered the funds, the client base is certainly far less than during the temporary management. A significant number of the clients, as I would have indicated, they got the benefit of the temporary management, so to speak, but they did not have to absorb any of the cost of that temporary management. So the burden fell on a smaller pool of clients. So that's part of the challenge now. It's really a smaller pool of clients also that have to bear the obligations of getting back their estate, the money from the estate, and so on, including the victims. So it's limited what we can recover.
Could there be more to come?
Well, we are making every effort, but we are making no promises at this time. The situation does look dire, but we are making every effort to see what additional funds can be recovered.
Why did it take so long to get to this stage in terms of a fund, a compensation fund, as small as it may be? Why did it take, over 2 years?
Well, you would have to break that into two. During the temporary management, a particular approach was taken, and they decided that the insurance proceeds would not be used as a victim compensation fund, as I would have used it if I was allowed to at the time.
So they got it wrong?
Well, I suppose they are going to say that they have a different perspective and they could have done that. I disagree.
And did you disagree at the time?
Well, remember, I was injuncted from taking any role in SSL. The court had implemented that injunction, so I could not. They would not.
So you're listening to an interview there from Power 106, Simon Crosskill, talking to the trustee of SSL, and we're hearing the discussion there. But as we had promised that at 4:30 we would have Senator Norman Grant. Senator Grant, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Brother Colin, and good evening to all of your listeners. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Titchfield won last night, so it's a joy over here in Portland. We're having fun when the children are upbeat, and lots of congratulations to Titchfield High School.
Yeah, congratulations to them. I'm a past student of Jamaica College, so
well.
I was trying to tell them, just hold it, man. Don't
answer nothing more.
Don't press don't press, But we lost some points. But congratulations to Titchfield.
Thank you very much, Senator Grant. Senator
there
Grant.
Can only be one winner.
Yes, and it's good sportsmanship that has been developed over the years. I want to congratulate TVJ for doing this for so long. Over 50 years they've been doing it. Yeah.
Yes. No, that is tremendous.
Yes. Now, Senator Grant, we have some serious things to talk about, because agriculture is one of the pillars that we have to set up Jamaica on going forward in this new dispensation that we are seeing, 10% tariff. Well, we hear now today that is on hold for what, 3 months?
Yes, 90 days, and we welcome that.
Yes.
Because already we have started to get some feedback from the market,
Mm-hmm.
and that in itself would have certainly have some devastating effect on the industry. So we already some of our buyers were asking for reduction in price, and once you get reduction in price,
yes,
it will lead to reduction in price to the farmers.
Because they were hoping that we could hold the 10% instead of pass it on.
Right. Because what happening is that Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee is not a commodity coffee. It is a specialty gourmet coffee, and it is already very, very high priced. And therefore, while you buy the Colombian and the Costa Rican for $2.50 a pound,
yes,
you're talking Blue Mountain for $12.50 a pound, which is almost 10 times. I mean, seven times the price.
$12.50 a pound. So what is it that I see when I Google and ask what is the price for Blue Mountain coffee on the global market? I see between $70 and $100 on the high end, and on the low end, $40 to $70. What is that?
So remember, now we supply green coffee into the trade.
Mm-hmm.
They roast it, and they have a lot of added costs to it.
Right.
For example, when you go to Japan and you open a coffee shop, the area that you rent for the coffee shop, you have to put up something like $250,000 to $300,000 as security
to have a coffee shop.
For a coffee shop
in Japan.
Then you have to look at all of the value added. So there are a number of other costs, and for example, the Japanese are very classic. A lot of the costs come in the packaging, the presentation.
Yes.
And so the chain of costs, we don't get those 70 and 80 and 90 and $100.
That don't come to us.
No, sir. What comes to us is the FOB price, because they buy it FOB. They pay for the freight.
Mm-hmm.
They pay for the insurance. Because if we had to pick up all of those other costs,
mm-hmm.
It would have really put us even in a more serious position, because the value chain is filled with costs. And when you also look on the input costs, fertilizer,
mm-hmm.
Chemicals, and you look at the condition of the roads, all of those are a lot of costs that challenge the profitability of the Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee value chain.
So tell me something, Senator. You said Blue Mountain coffee is a gourmet coffee, top of the line coffee. How is it then that we can get more from the coffee?
Well, the strategy is really productivity. Right now, our 5,000 farmers, we have close to about 6,000 acres of arable land within the Blue Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge, Colin, is that our productivity is too low. We are now doing an average of 30 boxes per acre. We really should be doing in the region of 100 and 120 boxes per acre. Our other country partners, like Costa Rica and Brazil, they are doing 150 to 200 boxes per acre. So when you look at $10,000 a box and you're earning from 30 boxes per acre, your total income from that acre of land is $300,000. But if you move that productivity to 100 boxes
could be $1 million
per acre, you're talking $1 million.
But Senator,
so the question is,
go ahead.
one, good agronomic practice.
Mm-hmm.
So we need
to have the inputs, fertilizer, chemicals, and we need to apply them on a timely basis. We have to deal with the rural road infrastructure that reduce the costs, your cost of operation. You have to also address issues such as irrigation, research and development. And that is why, as president of the JCA, I led a delegation and met with the Minister of Agriculture and JACRA. And out of a working group, we have come up with a recommendation for the implementation of a CREP program, which will call for, and we're upping the request to somewhere in the region of $300 to $350 million per annum worth of inputs to be disbursed to the farmers over a 5-year period.
300 and how much?
That $350 million
to assist,
per annum
to assist
over 5 years.
farmers.
So we're looking at about $1.5 billion. And we think if that is provided, you could move your production from 200,000 boxes per annum to 450,000 boxes per annum. You could move your productivity.
So you could go up by 150%.
To 90 to 100 boxes. But listen to this, Colin. You'd move your income, foreign exchange income generated from the coffee industry from 20 to 25 million per annum to 100 million US dollars. And that is game changing.
So you are saying that we are making $25 million per annum now from coffee?
Yeah, just about that. Yeah.
And
70% goes into Japan, 20% in the USA, and 10% to Europe and the rest of the world.
And you are saying that if we increase our production by 150%, we could also increase the earnings by 300%.
Absolutely. And I'm not even talking about the roasted coffee segment. I'm just talking about the straight green into the Japanese, the USA, and the Europe and China and Chinese market, and new emerging markets, which may be able to pay an incrementally higher price than what we get in the mature and the existing markets.
So why we not roasting?
But we need to invest it. We need. Or why? Well,
why we not roasting? Yeah.
The issue is if all the sectors are competing for the budgetary dollar. But my view is, listen, you need to treat the coffee sector in the same way you're treating the other subsectors. Have a production incentive program in every budget for the next 5 years, where you provide seedlings to replace older trees, you provide fertilizer and manure and chemicals to deal with pesticide control, to deal with the pesticide issues. You also have to deal with the improvement of the rural road infrastructure to make it easier to get to the farms and move your products from the farms to the factory. And listen, I just think that if we make this huge investment in coffee, it will help to build back the rural economy. 5,000 farmers, 120,000 farm families, and it will contribute significantly to move the agriculture's contribution to GDP from 6% to more in the region of 12%. So the longer we take to provide this investment in the sector, is the longer we'll be in a stalemated position.
Tell me something. Why is it that we used to get $14,000 to $16,000 a box for coffee in 2015, 2016, and now getting $10,000 and $11,000? What happened there?
Well, remember the Lehman Brothers shock. So at that time, the price had jumped to $70 per kg. You had the Lehman Brothers shock, and then you had a situation where the Japanese market had indicated that they had overstocked. So normally the Japanese were buying like for 3 to 5 years. they start to buy shorter rather than longer. So they buy, the cycle of the crop rather than buying in 5-year cycle. And as a result of the Lehman Brothers shock, the price of the coffee went down from $70 to $35. And they were very, very clear to us. Listen, if you don't bring that price down, keep the coffee. Not only that, we were holding out, and they were saying, listen, we're not going to buy any coffee, right? And therefore, the strategy has to be looking at the productivity to increase our productivity. And secondly, we have to get some government intervention.
So you're saying at this time there's no subsidy to coffee farmers?
No, there's none.
None at all, zero?
No, the subsidy, we are calling for substantial support for the coffee farm. There's no real subsidy to the coffee farmers. Right?
What about technical assistance? Who provide technical assistance to the coffee farmers?
The technical guidance and assistance is provided by the buyers. Because if you grow other crops, the RAD officers may go to your farm, right? And they look at other crops and you have some coffee. JACRA is more regulatory, right? So and advisory, but there's currently really no technical capacity building.
So isn't that a need if we are going to improve from $30 per acre to $100 per acre? Don't we need some of that technical assistance?
That is an urgent need, and that is why I'm saying in the same way, listen, the yam farmers are doing very well, I mean, their export is close to, in excess of 50 million per annum. But they're rather supporting them. So I'm saying that whenever you provide the needed support for the farmers, because a lot of the smaller coffee farmers need it.
Yes.
The larger coffee farmers have to put in a lot of funding to get the project viable. I am saying that the issues to do with growing coffee in Jamaica is so technical and difficult, the terrain.
Because that's one of the things I tell people, that coffee no grow up on level, it grow up on hillside.
Yes, and it makes it even more difficult. So I'm saying that what the focus has to be, and I'm coming from a time, I was head of the PC Banks many years ago, when Kingsley Thomas was head of the Development Bank of Jamaica, when we moved the production of coffee to 500 to 550,000 boxes. But that was with a whole heap of technical assistance that came from IFAD, CEDA, the Shirley Castle loan for $15 million US that assisted the farmers, right? So if you don't get a program to build capacity within the coffee sector, and then said, oh no, it's Blue Mountain Coffee, man, so they can always sell on, the processors can pay more. The issue is that you have to look at what you are selling the coffee for. Because
Definitely.
If you pay out more than you are getting, right, you are now have a situation where the processors become bankrupt and we can't take the coffee off from the farmers.
Understood.
So that too, a lot of people are not looking on the two sides of the equation. I'm saying that right now there's an urgent need to build out the CREP program and a technical assistance program to support the coffee farmers. And over the next 5 to 7 years, 10 years, you're going to see a huge resurgence of the coffee industry and adding tremendous value to the rural economy and more in our foreign exchange account as well.
There was a time when coffee farmers used to reach Senator. But tell me this. I am hearing that the government have a tax on the exportation of coffee. Is that true? So,
So the way the industry is structured, whenever you export coffee, you pay a cess, and you can call it a tax,
mhm.
and it is there to provide support to JACRA. So that cess that is paid to JACRA, it helps to operate the JACRA as the regulator. Of course, you pay a green coffee cess and you pay a roasted coffee cess. Um, but one again has to look on how you help to drive growth and development and expansion and capacity in the export sector.
So what
Of
what
course,
percentage is that, Senator? Or what? How does that work? What kind of money? What kind of money that add up to?
I think it's about 3% of sales.
So if we export $25 million worth of coffee, you're saying it's about 3% of that?
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
Couldn't that do something for the farmers?
Yes. And in addition to that, whenever we import coffee, we also pay a cess, and we agree to pay that cess.
No, I can understand. I can understand the importation,
right?
But I have a little difficulty understanding the export.
We'd want it to go into the expansion of the coffee industry. Well, after the COVID impact, the cess was reduced by 50% because there were not a lot of sales that were coming in, and so the government took a decision, which was a good decision at that time, to reduce that cess by 50%. So really, while we're paying, I think it was maybe about 5% thereabout. It's now reduced to about maybe under 3%.
Oh, so that's when it came down to 3% or under.
Yes.
And who is doing research? Who is doing the research on our Blue Mountain coffee and all of that in Jamaica? Any research has been done?
Well, the JACRA is currently doing a research as it relates to variety, as to see what variety can, be more sustainable. But in terms of any concentrated research, my view is that we certainly need to build out, like case.
Talk to me.
I really would like to see case to be a university, an agricultural university that really looks in a very in-depth and expansive way on research and development on all our crops, including coffee.
Yes.
Because you have to really sustain the financial support towards research, and if in your accounting line of expenditure, research is the quickest one to cut, but it is a very important area that we need to invest in
if we're going to grow.
If we're going to grow and expand, and do so in a sustainable way.
Senator, you're a farmer, so I'm not just going to ask you about coffee, though. Jamaica's food importation bill for 2024 looking closer to $2 billion. Why is it developed countries subsidize their farmer to ensure food security, but developing country like Jamaica seems reluctant to subsidize their farmers? Why is that so?
I think it's fair. But when I was president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, I don't get a lot of credit for it, but I was the one who came up with the concept, or reintroduced the concept, to grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Yes.
I went to the Governor General, and I went to Minister Clark, and I said, as president, and I went to the farmers to say that if they supported me as their president, I'd launch a campaign, right, to increase local production, to reduce import, right, and to grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And we saw a number of strategies fallen into place where it push the growth of domestic crop, it reduce, slow down the imports in a tremendous way. And everybody was talking about growing what we eat and eating what we grow.
Yes.
Because we were looking at import substitution. We're looking at having the farmers market across Jamaica and to make sure that we were placing fresh agricultural produce as close as possible to our consumers. And then you're talking about health. So the whole strategy, I think, has to go towards supporting and protecting the local industry. Listen, I mean, the developed countries has done that. We need to do that in order to be food sufficient, in order to be independent. True independence is when you can feed yourself, Colin.
That is right. You can't feed yourself, right? You're not independent.
Therefore, there's an urgent need to build capacity. There are a whole heap of idle land out there. We need to get farmers have access to funding. We need to support them, in getting the lands plowed, right? We need to build out agro-processing centers, storage centers, right? And we need to ensure that the farmers can grow all that we need in Jamaica and to also expand to the Caribbean. Jamaica is supposed to be feeding the whole Caribbean.
Along with Guyana.
Slow down. And along with Guyana, yes, along with Guyana. Guyana is doing a good job.
Yeah.
Remember, I was also head of the Caribbean Farmers Association network.
So I went into Guyana. You're weird.
Yeah, man. I went into Guyana. I went into Trinidad. I went into Barbados. I went into Cuba. I was trying to get Cuba to be a part of the association. I got Haiti to be a part of the association. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, I mean, quite frankly, this region need to really just think agriculture, right, and support it and really make sure that it continues to be the lifeblood of the economy of the region and Jamaica.
My final question before I let you go. I just mentioned about the food importation bill. The opposition leader in his budget presentation said that he wants to cut the food importation bill by 25% in his first term. Is that possible?
Yes, man, it is possible.
How so?
It is possible. How? Once you support. So firstly, you need to talk. There are about 14 crops that we are importing that we can grow.
Can you name them?
Right? Onion, Irish potato, right? And a number of them. So you need to identify those crops.
Yes.
You need to support. You need to create that framework, whether it's the agro-park, open field agriculture, greenhouse, or shade house. Put in your irrigation system, whether it is mini dam, overhead irrigation,
yes,
right? Or you're going to put in your black tanks. You're going to have to improve the rural road infrastructure. You have to deal with pre-larceny as well.
Yes.
Right? So there are a number of things that you can look at, and you can implement those in the first year, right? And make sure that you have your storage house, your agro-processing centers. You reduce your post-harvest loss. It's now about 30%, my brother, right? And you'll find out that the Jamaican people will go for the produce locally.
Yeah,
and here now, the more you produce locally is the more you can compete with the imported prices.
Yes.
Because you're also growing with economies of scale. And then now you can take off the crops. What I also like is the Agricultural Development Fund. I did a lot of work on that with Bobby Pottinger, the JAS, and we think that will be a game changer.
The Agriculture Development Fund that Dayton can speak about.
Yes, it's an important vehicle to drive
farmers.
Growth and development. In the same way you have
the Tourism Development Fund.
Yes. And you find a way to seed it. and you are in a position to provide sustained support to the coffee farmers, to the coffee farmers and to your 300,000 farmers, and ensure that they don't have to worry about anything. They have to just go out, produce, and then we create that framework to take the crops off. When there's a glut, you have to take it off at a price that is reasonable.
Or if we do better organized farming, then we shouldn't really have those kind of glut if we structure how we plant.
And you know, we really don't have a glut in Jamaica. It's a distribution problem. Because on one side you have a glut, on the other side you don't have the products, but you are not able to move it across in a very, very, very efficient way.
You remember when we used to have AMC where the government used to send on a truck to buy the produce?
Yes. And remember, the JS also tried to implement a central marketing system, which I think can still work, but you'll have to modify it a little. The main thing is to ensure that your farmers who get out there to produce, when they produce, you can take off their crops at a price that they can go back to replant. If there is a disaster, you have to find a way through, again, the Agricultural Development Fund to provide them with urgent and immediate support.
Get them up and running.
Replant and get them going again.
Yes. Senator Grant.
We don't have any agricultural crop insurance.
No.
And over time, that we can build out as well. That should be built out as well over time as the framework becomes more and more proven and successful.
Anything you want to add finally before you go, Senator Grant?
I just like to salute the farmers of Jamaica. I've been lobbying and pushing for our farmers for many, many years. I say there are 2 eras. They continue to just get out there. They're not looking at anybody. They're just doing their best to feed the nation, to feed themselves, and to feed their families. And all I'd want to see is more support, land to the farmers, access to capital and access to funding, assist to build capacity with marketing, dealing with the rural road network, irrigation, some research and development, and of course deal with the 2-foot post, pre-larceny.
Right? And case becoming the University of Agricultural
that
Science.
In itself will be a game changer. Agriculture has the answer for the development of the Jamaican economy.
Blessings, my brother. Thanks much. We'll be in touch.
Every time, my brother.
Yeah, man. Senator Norman Grant, a man who knows his way around. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
Why an April 30 cutoff?
Hold on, we lost that caller. All right. So you heard from Senator Norman Grant. The farmers need support. 305.
Yeah.
Good evening.
In Jamaica, they should let the farmer then get a gun.
Get a what?
They should have them gun.
Yeah,
because the people them keep them product.
I believe if you have a farm over a certain size, you should be qualified for a license firearm. I agree.
Yes, they should allow them to have a gun.
Yeah, man.
Because the man them don't get too lazy. And you're shooting, you have a license and you're shooting by your farm, they should even charge you.
Well, you see, you have to get the farmer them get the gun and then you teach them the law, because there are some laws you wouldn't believe. If you shoot a man for your farm, you might be in problem, you know. Because you know, suppose me tell you what the law says.
In place.
Suppose me tell you what the law says.
Once you're shooting for your farm, you never even charge it.
Well, you see, there are some things
have that in place.
There are some things that can put in place. Because you have some people who have some sign that says trespassers will be shot. But farmers need to be armed. Yeah, man. From you have a farm of a certain size, you should be qualified. And those are the things we are saying to farmers. You know. We want to get you registered. And when we get you registered, we want to get you into a limited liability company. So you have a company for your farm. You put your money through your account. You run your farm as a business. So when you go for FLA, you have your business document. You are not just a farmer. You're a businessman. What is your business? Farming is my business. But you have a registered company. When you go to the embassy, it's the same document you're supposed to use. You understand? So those are some of the things that government need to assist our farmers with. Getting them registered, getting them into a company, getting them armed if they need to be armed. Because if a man have 400 goat, him need a couple shotgun on him farm.
Of course.
But you see, one of the things is that our government, past and the present one, have not been serious about agriculture and look at our farmers seriously. And you hear me
because Jamaica should be able to feed themselves.
Of course, you hear me ask the senator a while ago why our governments have not been subsidizing our farmers. We don't treat our farmers with respect. We don't look after our farmers. So that's why when Dayton Campbell say he will put a farm, agricultural fund, they scoffed at it. That's why when Hubert Williams say want $22,000 box for coffee farmer, them scoff at it because they don't respect our farmers. We have to start respecting our farmers, giving them the assistance that they need to do well.
Because you have some young people down there who want to read. And they don't want to farm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But we have to make farming look sexy.
So once he's shooting, they should even come pick him.
You see, like farmers.
The army police have to come pick him up.
You see, like farmers in America.
Have a life to fire and farming shooting.
Like you have farmers in America. Farmers in America, we have whole heap of land. Thousands of acres.
Yes.
Big farm.
And you can't go down there, go tea. They shoot you.
We need some large farmers in Jamaica, all right?
Yes.
Big up yourself.
Yes.
876-804-7072. 305-654-7944. We are on Caribbean Radio HD Live. And I want you to check out my social media angles. Check me out at Portland Spice TV on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Good evening. Welcome. Caribbean Radio HD.
Good evening. Thanks, Shaka, and good evening to your viewers. Hey, Shaka, tell me something. What can we do about the banks? Because you see, Shaka, we live in America. And let me tell you something, Shaka. If you want to go into farming, you carry your land title and you establish your business name, right? And otherwise, some you pay your fees to the government. You see, the banks loan you money. But what I notice in Jamaica is that the banks in Jamaica, they make majority of their money off fees.
Yeah.
You see back in the day, Shaka,
yeah,
when you go to housing trust and you get that money to borrow to build a house.
Yeah.
Housing trust used to have inspectors that come around.
Think them
when
still
they
have
get
them.
All right, them still have them.
Yeah, man.
Well, that is how America run their farms. And the government support the farmers when there's a big catastrophe. Otherwise, a lot of farmers in America, them get them land way up in some bush and them get the land at a discounted price. So a lot of times when they're in America and you go Wyoming and you go all them places where the farm is, you won't see anybody walking out there to steal, because guess what? The distance to go back to where them are go, you will catch them.
Yes, yes. And you see, those are some of the things that the Jamaican government need to do. We need to, Michael Manley said it this way, put idle lands into idle hands. But I look at it a different way, my friend. I think government need to send out people. It's like them extension officers, because we have extension officers. They need to send them out. Look for a man where raise 1,000 chicken. And you said to that man, you're raising 1,000 chicken. Are you interested in raising 100,000 chicken? Give him the land, give him access to funding. And as you say, have inspectors and people with the technical skills to help him through. Yeah.
Help him stage by stage.
Yes. That's what we have to do.
I'm going to tell you something, Shaka. You see, when them build that coffee industry plant in Clarendon, Shaka,
Yeah.
the government missed the ball.
Talk to me.
You see, when them build that plant, you see the shell off of the coffee, the trash. The trash was supposed to go towards making
Making what?
ethanol. Yes, a part of the trash was supposed to go to making ethanol.
Okay.
Ethanol is when them have the original gas and them have the other gas we mix
We
with
mix
ethanol.
it. Yeah, man.
Because, yes, when we used to work at Coffee Industry Board,
Because cane trash can do it too, you know.
we used, no, but that me I tell you, when we used to work there, you see to dry the coffee, when it's not sunny, we use the trash to dry the coffee. We use the trash as fuel to dry the coffee. So a lot of the problems that Jamaica is having is that a lot of, when them, after them produce the coffee, the banana, whichever product, you see all of whatever them consider a waste, there's a byproduct that comes off of it.
And that's why we
Coffee
talk
industry
about
board-
research. That's why you hear me ask the senator a while ago, who is doing the research on coffee
Okay, but
in Jamaica?
I'm gonna tell you something, Shaka. When I used to work at coffee, you see a lot of the research was done. You see pencils and all of those things, anything that can be made out of coffee,
Yeah.
they used to make them as memorabilia and give it to the who of who.
Oh.
So a lot of things can be achieved, but you have to have the willpower and the desire
And the vision.
to do it.
And the vision.
And the vision.
Yeah.
You have to have the vision, the willpower, and the desire to change the system so that the system is not a burden to the government. The government cannot walk around and say them are going to take on everything. Just like how them are going to take on adding more ATM machines when that's the job of the banks. So the banks are just in the country making a lot of money, charging people fees.
But Carla, I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember when Fitzjackson brought the motion to the parliament
Yeah,
that,
I remember.
that the bank shouldn't charge you. The bank shouldn't charge you to deposit your money. The bank shouldn't charge you to withdraw your money. Them shouldn't charge you to do an inquiry into your account.
None of that them should charge you for.
The GLP.
Those are illegal, Shaka.
Remember, no, they are not illegal. Because
No, I know, they have it on paper.
right, so the GLP members of parliament voted against that bill. They voted for the banks to continue to collect your money, to charge you a fee to deposit, a fee to withdraw, and a fee just to check how much money in your account. The GLP members of parliament did that to the people of Jamaica. So every Jamaican who had a bank account or have a bank account, the GLP members of parliament voted against you. Remember that?
And that's the reason why you find things the way they are.
Yes,
because the banks are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Because the bank's supposed to
bank's
make the
supposed
money
to
off
do
and
them-
give you a loan. Give you a loan and make money off of that.
Exactly. But you have none of them. You have very little of that that's going on. And when it's going on to the selected few.
All right, my brother. Give somebody
Okay,
else a
my boss.
chance.
All right.
Respect.
Cool.
Hey, want to say good evening to Sister Tanya. Good evening to Princess. Servant David. Good evening. Good evening to Marlene. Good evening to Maxine. All the people in the chat room over there at Caribbean Radio HD. Happy to know that you are enjoying the program. Hey, the Radio Tan is on Caribbean Radio. We're inviting you to contribute. I don't know something new upon the radio station, so I don't know all that much about the Radio Tan, but I want to send on some money in my name. Please and thanks, me people. I am supposed to get my share of the money for the Radio Tan. So we're going to send on some money, and I want to thank Servant David for saying to the people, send some money for the Colin program. And I'm seeing it, and I'm saying to all the people who've been loving this show on Caribbean Radio HD, put our money in the Radio Tan for the Colin Bell Show. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD. We're live.
Yes, I had this party flat out at St. Anne again up in the Jayaba Mountain, you know.
Easy, St. Anne. Welcome.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I like if we find out, you know. a whole heap of Kaiser land up there we start now using no bridging.
Whole
So
heap
I
of-
don't want to do no, I don't want you to find out from the Minister of Land. What them are doing empty land up here, you know, Kaiser them
Yeah.
they go to mall up back in the empty space.
Why your MP?
You understand me?
Why your MP?
Eh?
Why your MP?
My name. Amanda. Remember when you know, because man no come no more, so you know.
Oh,
I want somebody to say, you know,
who you say?
a man named Jim.
Jim?
That was name again, man.
Russell?
No, man. In Alexandria here, man.
Alexandra,
That's name.
Alexandra. So I wonder if a Xavier mean for your MP.
Him stay one, man. Him stay one.
Oh, so a Danishka run against him. Danishka Williams is the PNP candidate round there.
Yeah, but one next one, Jim the Portla. Yeah, Xavier, I mean, I am missing about a place, but man, no come here no more, so you know, Virgin.
Oh, him not come no more answer. Okay.
But man, no come here no more, so brother, man, no, but I want to Kaiser land up in the hills, you know, Virgin, you know, Kaiser land, brother.
Well, you see, after the election, once PNP when I can talk to the MP. Once it's a PNP MP, me I gonna know them. Because I know all of the PNP candidates them personally. All of them know me. So we can make some talk on your behalf. All right?
Yeah, man, it's in my area, you also grow the thing there, you know. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the green thing there.
Yeah, man, the green thing there, man.
Oh, then, but you can get a license. You can get a license and grow it legally now, you know, man.
Yeah?
Yes, man. Then you know can grow, get your license and grow as much as you want legally. Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I just say it, man.
All right,
brother. No
let's take it off.
Somebody's asking in the chat room, how can a bank charge you to deposit money in your account? Yes, the banks in Jamaica charge you to deposit money. And your bank with them, yes, they charge you for deposit. You have to pay to withdraw your money, you pay a fee. I guess if you do an inquiry to find out how much why your balance in your account, you check your balance, them charge you for that. If the bank writes, if you have a checking account with the bank and you write a check, give somebody, and them got the bank go change it. In fact, they stop now because of what Fitzjackson has done. The banks now stop charge you like if you have a Scotia checking account and you go Scotia for change the check, they don't charge you anymore. But they used to charge you. It is because of what Fitzjackson has been doing. Why that stopped? So what Fitzjackson did was put a motion in the parliament to say the banks should not. You should get at least some minimum service for free. To deposit your money, that should be for free. To withdraw your money, it should be for free. The GLP members of parliament, the GLP members of parliament all voted against that bill and said to the bank, go right ahead and charge them for deposit them money and charge them for withdraw them money. That's what the GLP members of parliament did to the people of Jamaica, Servant David. That can't be good. So I am wondering how the people of Jamaica voting for these people who voted against them. Because Holy Power we have account. I don't understand it. We have to be serious about what we're doing as a people. Yeah, man. 876-804-7072. 305-654-7944. One of the issues that is on the table in Jamaica right now is the water issue in rural St. Andrew. When the municipal corporation have their monthly meeting, a number of government agencies are mandated to go to those meetings and give report to the municipal corporation. So councillors and mayors have a serious role to play as it relates to your community leadership. It's called local government. Now, when the Water Commission submit their reports of their water testing to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, they found excessive test samples of E. coli and them thing there in the water, bacteria, over the allowed standard. Jesse James Clark, who chairs that committee in the KSAMC, came out and said to the people that your water is not of the standard that your water is supposed to be, Sister Nicole. The water in rural St. Andrew is contaminated. And when he came out and said that, people like Marlon Morgan jump up and try rubbish it. But the reports were there. And Councillor Jesse James Clark could prove his argument. Marlon Morgan, to date, you have not apologized to Councillor Clark. We saw where the Ministry of Health is coming out and saying, yes, the samples are not what they're supposed to be, but there's nothing to be worried about. And we hear of a councillor walk out of the councillor meeting, a labor right councillor, and saying that they're trying to embarrass the Andrew Holness administration. What kind of rubbish we have in Jamaica? You know that councillor should have been recalled. Because if there's a problem with the water and you want to cover it up, you're not supposed to be in the municipal corporation, brother. You're supposed to go your yard. Because it not sound to me like you intend to defend the people. You are about your party. And we are making attempts to bring Councillor Jesse James Clark to this platform. So stay tuned. We are in touch with him. We are in dialogue with him. And, oh yes, the PNP YO. Nat's come here. See if you can get Gabby for me. Make a talk, see if I can get Gabriel. Because Gabby them calling. Let me see if I find Gabby. Yeah, man, see Gabby number, yeah. Tell Gabby I just want to talk to her for about 5 minutes about that resignation that they are calling for. Because Gabriela Morrison, the youngest senator in the English-speaking Caribbean, she's calling for the resignation of some people, including Senator Marlon Morgan. Because we can't live this way. We are, because of our political alignment, we are hiding things from the public. You're hiding that the water is contaminated. Senator Elon Thompson don't want to say. And hold on, I woke up this morning at my regular time. It's 3 o'clock. No, it wasn't that time I read this article. I read an article about midnight, talking about the travel advisory that is out. The United States put out some serious travel advisory. And Jamaica is still on that list of country. You have to be fast. She's on her walk. Yes, I know you're on your walk, Gabby, and I'm going to be fast. I'm not going to keep you long at all. Hold on for me. We have Senator Gabriel Morrison on the line, and we're trying to get to talk to her about her call for the resignation of certain people because certain things that they are doing. Senator, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Comrade Bell, and good evening to your listeners as well.
Beautiful. I know you're on your walk, so I'm not going to keep you long, but I have been seeing it all over TikTok. You're calling for the resignation of some people. Who are these people and why are you calling for their resignation?
Well, it is simple. It is simple, comrade. What we have noted is that the concerns that were raised by Councillor Jesse James Clark have been proven to be founded and legitimate because
Factual.
the NWC has come out and said that they have indeed identified the presence of E. coli in the water supply. Now, weeks prior, it was Senator Marlon Morgan who chastised and who castigated Jesse James Clark for making these revelations.
Yes.
And I believe that it was irresponsible of him to do so.
And for a senator.
And for a senator, of course, somebody who is supposed to inspire public trust. He actually tried to malign Jesse when he brought these concerns instead of going to the NWC and asking them to release the water quality data as Jesse suggested. And, you know, I believe that it is in league with the JLP's behavior over the years of leading by gaslighting. And so instead of allowing the truth to come out, they have tried to muzzle people and to oppress especially the opinions of the opposition. And that is what we keep seeing in this country. And it needs to stop, especially from elected representatives who should know better and who should do better.
They said water is life. And there's an issue with the water. And you want to cover it up. What do you say to the Ministry of Health who are saying to us now that, yes, the findings are there, but no concern, it's not a major concern?
It's especially concerning, comrade, because we are supposed to be receiving credible information from government ministries. And that response is quite concerning. Many people are quite confused because is it that the amount of E. coli was found in the water makes it safe to drink? There are questions that are lingering. And so the Ministry of Health needs to come out and clarify, because according to Jesse, the levels of E. coli in the water was elevated above the normal limits that makes it safe for persons to consume. And so they need to come out and answer. Is it that E. coli is found, but people are being told not to boil water or be alarmed? So those questions are lingering, and I believe that in order to inspire public trust and to ensure public health, they need to come out and clarify these statements.
Marlon Morgan is one of the persons. There's also a councillor that you're calling for her resignation.
Of course. They're irresponsible. And it is so strange that week prior, I believe on April 1, Councillor Prince, who is the caucus leader for the JLP in the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, she called for Jesse's resignation, citing that he was making trouble and making mischief.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it has come out that Jesse was right and the government was wrong on this, I believe that she needs to apologize forthwith, both to Councillor Clark and to the country.
Senator, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you're on the road, on the ground, because we have to do the work, because there is no doubt we have to get rid of this wicked and uncaring government, people who will cover up for party to the detriment of the health of our people.
And that is why the JLP needs to be rid of its responsibilities, because they have consistently shown that they would rather preserve their party and they would rather spin than ensure that they preserve the lives and livelihoods of Jamaican people. And so, Comrade Ben, I'm here on the road. I'm with my people walking today, and they are calling for me. So it was a pleasure to be on.
Yes,
and I want to wish everybody all the best for today.
And we wish you the best. We expect to hear on election night, Gabriella, and see you walking up Duke Street with the party leader.
We will be coming in.
All the best. All the best, my comrade. One love.
All right. Take care.
Listeners and viewers, Caribbean Radio HD. She's the youngest senator in the Caribbean. Comrade Gabriella Morrison. PNP senator. Sharp, bright, and ready. These are the kind of people that we're bringing to the parliament. Welcome to Caribbean Radio. Good evening. Hello, good evening. We missed that call. 804-7072. You see that number? You can call me straight or you can call me on WhatsApp. Now, the Prime Minister was in Miramar begging people in the diaspora, Jamaicans, to invest in Jamaica. And yes, I too would ask people to invest in Jamaica. But Prime Minister, SSL is still a problem. Brother Bailey, Arlene, Maxine, Cynthia, Servant David, Sister Nicole, there is trouble in Jamaica, and you have to give people the confidence that the government have their backs when people invest their money in Jamaica. Because when I listen to the trustee of SSL, it no sound like not much did every people get back. No sound so. And therefore, before you tell people to invest their money, you have to instill that level of confidence. I was talking before I get to the senator about the travel advisories that are out. And I was reading one last night. I think Jamaica is at tier 3. Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, all those countries, they are travel advisory out saying to Americans, be careful before you come to Jamaica. Now, I am worried about this administration that we have because they are not afraid of covering up things, hiding things from the public, and they don't want you to talk about it. And if you talk about it, you are victimized. You are put under pressure. What me say? Me say, if you talk about things in Jamaica that is not in keeping with what the government wants you to say, you are put under pressure. And Chris, let me tell you this.
Colin.
Yeah, Chris, may I tell you something? You see me, I sit down on this platform, I talk to you, and I tell you the things them. I am under a lot of pressure. Talk to me. Talk to me, Chris.
Yeah, Colin.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, me call you.
Colin?
Yeah, man, may I listen to you, Chris? May I hear you loud and clear?
All right, cool. Good evening. Congrats to the Titchfield family.
Yes.
On that win, right?
Yes, man.
First and foremost. All right. I was listening to a podcast and I came across some information, which I've heard snippets of it before. And it's kind of concerning to me. I know you have your contacts throughout the PNP. On election day, please, if you can get this out to them, it's important that they monitor all boxes. Allegedly, somebody confessed that they were working with a lady from out east, and the conscience have pricked them. Them allegedly threw away some of the boxes.
Hold on,
so the count was right. Allegedly.
Allegedly, because throwing away boxes, really, the boxes are counted before they leave.
Exactly.
Before they leave the polling station.
Exactly.
So those numbers are registered. So if they throw away boxes like that, we would know.
But anything that them say, you're saying anything that can happen will happen, right?
Yes.
Because it can, yes. So and we have to be mindful of that.
And there's a saying we say, if it not goes so, it nearly goes so.
It near goes exactly.
All right.
And one more quick point before I run. That incident over Portmore. It requires a lot of investigation. The container. Yes, man. The container.
The container issue. Man, the container issue.
Yes, man.
A simple issue, man.
Yes, man.
Simple issue.
It needs.
It's a simple issue.
Yeah. The whole of your coastline, I fish out there now from Port
Yeah, man, it's vulnerable. Our coastline is open.
Exactly. That's
very
the point I'm making.
open. Very open.
That's the point I was going to make.
I did an
I've
article.
seen some crazy things.
I did an article once about the Asian because you know the Asian they normally come in Portland.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and
man.
I did an article saying how is it we have not been able to spot them at sea? Them always come in a land. Why we can't spot them at sea? So there are some issues with our borders, my brother. All right.
It's porous. It's porous as best.
Porous, man.
Just a few points. Yeah, man. Just a few points. Anyway, right. Colin, I love the program so far.
Thank you very much.
And I say again, congrats to the Titchfield family, all right?
Blessings, man. All right.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Take
man.
care.
Yeah, man. Obi.
Hi, Colin. How you doing?
Me good, man. Wagwan.
Yeah, I'm spending 2 minutes with you.
Talk to me.
Because my phone have been bombarded saying that, boy, them here, you're giving cross skill and Power 106 credit, but you're not giving Conrad O'Brien and New Star credit. And I brought that in store with you yesterday afternoon as it relates to the payout.
Yeah, man. No, but no, I wasn't giving Kraskill credit. Kraskill had an interview today with the trustee. So I played a little piece of that. Yeah, man. He spoke to the trustee of SSL today. So I grabbed a little piece of it and met the listeners them hear about it. So it wasn't paying credit for breaking the news. No, man, remember we discussed that here yesterday, you know. Just that the trustee and hearing from the trustee, we haven't heard from him and some revelation came out.
Okay. You know, Colin, I tell you, the truth is that there's just so many things and people, you know, my phone ring for everything. As a matter of fact, I heard that last night, you know, I was on various platforms, you know, TikTok platforms, persons were just rebroadcasting segment of my show and so on. And indeed, I'm happy. Because
of course.
One of the things that you
but
get
hold on, Conrad, I want to tell you something. That interview with what's the lady name? The head of the SF, the small
Hamilton.
Yes, that interview is riveting, and I am going to be cutting it off and putting it on my YouTube channel. So you can bet your last dollar that we are going to cut that interview because I think she spoke eloquently and she spoke to the point of some of the things that will benefit people in small business coming out of the leader of opposition presentation in the budget. It was revealing out of the leader of opposition presentation in the budget. It was revealing.
You know, Colin, if I may, I believe, and I'm happy that you, Colin, you have that sense of intuition, you know, that you're using and you decide to do that. But I'll go further. I believe that the People's National Party, and I'm not really doing their bidding for them right here, what I'm saying, that I believe that their media department must be sharp on the curve on these things.
Yes.
Must be sharp on the curve on these things. I've heard, for example, Senator Lambert Brown in the parliament and his feet give some soundbite, give some things and so on. And I've not seen it where the communication department of the PNP sharp enough to take these things and put out. And I'm saying that we're in the draws of an election. These things must be out there, and the people within the communication department must understand the political reality right now. Not knocking anyone, but just saying. You know, it's a word to the wise is sufficient.
Hold on, Conrad. Let me take a call. Hold on. Sam, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Bell.
How are you doing?
But the gentleman that called you a while ago, I tell you about the ballot box. You remember the by-election that keep in St. Anne's and the lady, one of the officers was complaining.
So she not putting down the box?
They opened the box before it transport to the police, take it, and return officer take it. You remember?
I have a vague memory of what you're talking about. I don't remember the way you're talking still, but go ahead.
It was a by-election.
Yeah, man, the last by-election with Matthew Samuda.
In St. Anne's.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was making complaint, that our JP had tell her, shh, shh, you remember?
Yeah. To my seat, yeah.
All right. Whether if you understand, right? That they have a key and they open the box before it count and take out some ballot and stop putting other ballot into it.
I don't understand.
That's how they operate.
I don't know if nothing can go so. Have a key and open which box? Where?
And I want to tell you something too.
Have a key and open the box where?
It's when you're in a poll in a PD.
Eh.
In the PD.
Eh.
Before we went to the counting center.
No, but no. But
in
the box,
PD.
hold on, but the boxes are counted, are open at the PD at the end of voting.
No.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
And no, then they open the PD.
Jed, hold on, Sam, listen to me. Remember me running at the last election.
Yeah.
The boxes are open at the end of voting, at the end of the voting day, inside the PD.
Yeah.
The boxes are open, turnout, and the ballots are counted right there. When they finish counting, hold on, when they finish counting, they put them back in the box. The box is sealed. The PNP have a seal. The GLP have a seal. Where them seal up the box, lock it up. An envelope is written, a form is written up, how much vote for the PNP, how much for the GLP, and all those checks and balances are done. When that is done, hold on, man. When that is done, our indoor agent will give us the number. So we know if we win the PD or not. The GLP indoor agent give them the information. Or it is shouted out at the door. Everybody at the polling station know who win the box. So when the box got put, we know who win it already.
So you don't believe that they transfer the inside of the PD before count?
Unless your indoor agent has sell you out. Because remember, each political party have people in there. Right? And sometimes when the counting are going, if let's say I go vote last, and when I done vote, the polling station closed, I can stay in there and watch the count.
All right, I'm going to tell you about an incident. I'm going to tell you about an incident I know I'm in Moore Valley. Moore Valley Division, Parish Council. The PNP indoor agent was a pregnant lady, right?
Yeah.
And before the PD closed, right? She have our number, how much vote PNP have, how much JP have, right?
Yeah.
And she said she want to use the bathroom, right? And Chusha and the JP PD a friend. They say, yeah, man, everything safe.
No, but that means she wasn't trained. Our training, we train the workers and that not happen because if she want to go use the bathroom, we have adequate people to come in and replace her.
All right. All right. I investigate the matter and I hear what she was a pregnant lady and she go to the bathroom very often. Right?
Well, listen, that would be carelessness on the cluster manager and the campaign team and the candidate. Because what we do sometimes, the person who in the all day, sometimes another person will oversee the count. What we do at the last minute, because you have a time where you can't change them again. But at the last minute where we can change them, we change them and send in somebody fresh, somebody who is not tired. So we have a whole heap of strategies. So some things we are talking about, some of them not possible, some of them possible if you are being undermined by other people. So, but we are working on all of this.
Yeah, but
hold on, Sam. Obi, you want to say something about all of that?
Yeah, Colin, I think sometimes we see a duppy behind every door, and I can understand. I think the moral of the story is that, listen, the PNP is not a new fight as it relates to the election. The PNP has been at this for 86 going 87 years.
Yes.
And, And gone are the days when somebody basically just rush into a polling station, take it with stuff and all those type of things. We have moved away from that. And the system is now more foolproof. I hear those things every day. I'm not saying that, a little hanky-panky can't take place.
Yeah.
It would have to be with major collision, conspiracy. People will have to be conspiracy to basically work in tandem with each other.
Yeah, man. That would be a sellout.
If you have correctly pointed out, there are mechanisms to buttress the system. So if somebody is tired, somebody is going to the bathroom, there is mechanism for another person to come in. So
what you have
to do is to ensure, and that is where training and the credibility of the people who you are having, your cluster manager, your indoor agent, and so on. Those are basically the rock, the foundation. It's like I always say to people, Colin, that one of the most important person that you can use and run the world, run a corporation, is your executive assistant, your assistant there, what used to be called your secretary.
Yes.
Because that person is your eyes, your ears. That person supposed to know that, listen, Mr. Bell don't want to see that person today. Mr. Bell need a rest break. That kind of thing. So your indoor agent is that to your party. Your indoor agent must be doing everything.
Obi, let me say this to Sam. Yeah. Let me say this to Sam. When you hear us on the political stage and you hear how when we are big up the workers and the warriors and the foot soldiers of the party, those are the people. Because no candidate can win an election, brother.
Well, Colin, I was one of the youngest person who worked on Usuma when he win 1976.
Okay.
It's always going on, right? I almost rock fight at the wrong people them in those years. It's not as more bridges as now. Yeah, some people want to come in and vote all 2 times.
Yeah, man. So the workers and the warriors them stand up.
Yeah. So I know the training.
Hold on, Obi. Finish, Sam.
I know the training what we get, but sometimes some of the people they are too friendly.
True. All right, Sam. Big up yourself.
Right.
Go ahead.
I want to tell you something, Obi. I want to tell you something, Colin. The VMP candidate running the Marvel Division, Mr. James. I would like to talk to him and find what his investigation about the matter.
Who that? Jesse James?
No, man, Mr. James. He runs the Marvel Division.
All right, I will check that out. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him and find out what investigation him do after I last know what was the problem.
All right, cool. Yeah, Obi, go ahead.
I don't know which election you say Mr. James from, because the person who ran the Marvel division in the last local government election is one Mr. King.
Oh, okay.
He was the candidate there, right? Mr. King was the candidate.
Yeah, somebody just messaged me that as well. Right away, somebody sent me that message.
So I don't know.
That is Mr. King.
And also, with due respect to Sam, our brother, Sam must understand that the thing has evolved. You hear what he mentioned? He mentioned from 1975 with Hugh Small. It's a total different dynamic. So, and we're not discounting the fact that, listen, you have to be vigilant, because vigilance is very, very important.
Exactly, yes.
I am not going to be seen a doppio behind every door, Colin, and saying that, this is it and so on. Our people must understand the lay of the land and know that, listen, when you're selected as a worker, it's a serious thing. They must take the seriously, and that is why it is so important for a person to absorb the training, so to ensure that they go out and carry out their duty with a plumb. But in other words, I just close out this chapter by saying that security is always of paramount. How the boxes are transferred and so on. And that the reason why, and just to say, Colin, that the reason why, people can basically say before the whole thing, we get the thing officially in radio land or media land.
We know. Yes,
people can be out there celebrating somewhat because the indoor basically have the tally is given at the closing of the polling station.
Right,
so
and we add that up.
That's why you have that.
We add that up before it even get to the main counting station. We know who the winner of the election is. So yes, the ballots are counted in the PD before they leave the PD to the main station.
And you made a very important point, Colin, that the players from both political parties there, the boxes are open, ensure that nothing inside there, and the count took place, and then both parties have their seal and they seal the box.
Yeah, man.
The representative of both parties
travel with the box.
Supposed to stay inside.
And they travel with the box as well, Obi.
Absolutely. If you have a concern like what he said with that pregnant person, then there's a replacement in that case. You know?
And there's a whole heap of different things that can be done, Sam, that we do on an election day. So, and we are vigilant, we are doing the training. We are even stepping up the training now to a different level from where we used to train our workers. But I will not talk about this.
Good. The point, I think the thing that is quite germane in all of this, Colin, and must be, I think the parties have to watch it, is, for example, how you take voters from one constituency to another, and that level of scrutinization is not done.
Right.
You know, so you have consequences that are padded. For example, in Northeast St. Anne, one of the reasons why Shaheen basically ruled the roost, apart from the fact that she gained some love from genuine people there, but my understanding is that, and to be honest with you, it's not just now. I remember from Maxine Henry Wilson was General Secretary of the party. I said it to her at HQ that watch the transfer, and she said nothing never got so. And at the end of the day, we recognize that a lot of that was taking place. So those things, I think that's the thing that should be concerned.
That's a key part of the thing, Obi, to watch your numeration. Watch the transfers that are coming in, because if they get on the list, you can't stop them from voting.
The pink slips are very important.
Right. And as I said, if they get onto the voters list and get their ID, on election day, you can't stop them from voting.
Absolutely.
So you have to be vigilant before the numeration, the transfer. Those are the things that you have to watch to ensure that the people who are voting in your constituency, in your division, are from your division and from your constituency. I want to ask you something before you go, Obi. This water issue in rural St. Andrew. We hear the Ministry of Health come out today, and they are saying that, yes, the findings are there, but not to worry. What are your views?
I find it to be one of the most nonsensical communique that I've heard in my life. Because if issues there, or if issues are there as it relates to things that could be of concern to the health of the population, why shouldn't you be concerned? The other release where they said that, listen, the boiling of water, it doesn't reach that level. Why would it not reach that level?
And why wouldn't you prefer error in the terms of caution?
Absolutely. You know, err on the side of caution.
Right. Why would you want to do that?
Indeed. And you know, I want to lift my hat that I'm not wearing at the moment to young Jesse James Clark.
We're trying to get him on Saturday morning. I know he's gonna be on CVM this evening, and we have sent an invitation. We haven't got an acceptance yet, so let me make it clear. But we have sent an invitation to him for Saturday morning.
I'll say this to you, Colin. And the first interview that Jesse James Clark did on media, I was the person who did that interview with it. It was an in-studio interview.
I heard it.
And when I reached out to Jesse today, he said, listen, you're my general. I'm not even doing that interview on phone with you. He
come sit down with you
to be in studio with me Monday morning at 9:35.
Yes,
and
man.
He's going to be spending some time with me, and I think we'll be fielding some call there as well.
I have a challenge.
Is indeed a dynamic.
I have a challenge I want to send out before you go. I want to challenge Dr. Elan Thompson and Dr. Christopher Tufton. And we want to carry them to one of those communities that Jesse says the water, the E. coli number measure is higher than what it's supposed to be. And I want to see them drink 2 glasses of water from the top. So Dr. Tufton, Dr. Thompson, I want to take you into one of those communities and I want to see you drink 2 glasses of water straight from the top.
You know, Colin, my disappointment, major disappointment, is not with Tufton, you know. It is with Thompson, Dr. Thompson, being a trained medical person out there and the kind of things that this man has been spoken. It is really and truly dangerous. And you wonder if he really has the patient interest at heart. And what he means, it is hypocritical oath that he took. What that means to him, if he is putting that on the altar of politics. Because from a partisan point of view, you can't do that, you know? And I agree with you at that challenge. And in closing, you know, it is sad that the resignation of Senator Marlon Morgan has come so early. But I have to agree with the call from the president of the YO. Senator Morgan, and I warned him, you know, I warned him because I consider him as a friend and as a colleague. I warned him, I said, Marlon, you are doing what nobody else is doing. Don't put yourself out there to be slaughtered. Because one of the things is that them never reach you from morning is the work that people like myself and you, Colin, do and bat for him.
Yes.
And they couldn't ignore him anymore. So I said, don't put that out there because you're not a Matthew Samuda.
They will dash
you're not even a Colonel Charles Jr. that basically come with some legacy. So be careful. And here it is. He seems to be putting himself out there. And he is right now, seems as if he's on the chopping block because right now, if the Prime Minister is serious, Marlon Morgan could be in trouble. He could be in trouble if the Prime Minister is really serious.
And Gabriela, we just spoke to Gabriela a while ago and she's not easing up. She's calling for his resignation.
I heard her. I heard her. What a wonderful find in the first place, Dr. Phillips, when he appointed her as a senator.
Yes.
And now Mark Golden put her out there in the hosting to go into the representational politics. What a beautiful young lady and a wonderful find. We continue to hail the president of the People's National Party, YO, Gabriela Morrison. Gabby, hail up.
I have Ed Boy on the line, Obi. I don't know if you want to hold.
Okay, Ed Boy is there?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Ed Boy.
Hey, brother. How you do?
Blessings, man.
So this is what you call it? What you call your tongues? Tala-la-la-la?
Tala.
Hey, let me tell you, you need to copyright that tongue. You hear?
Tala.
Well, I come back for tala part 2.
Yes.
Yeah?
Tala.
Because we need to know what happened at Belmont Road yesterday.
Oh, yes, that's what I did for ask Obi before he go, man. Obi, what go on down at Belmont Road yesterday evening?
Well, I'm going to just say my piece and then leave your head boy. You're on the erudite head boy to continue. Head boy, what go on?
Blessings, man. I'm good, brother. Good to hear you.
Go ahead, Obi.
Well, Colin, and yeah, that yesterday at Belmont Road was very, very frantic. And indeed, it is said that the Prime Minister said, on your mark.
Yeah?
And
not get set.
My information coming out of Belmont Road is that, well, I'll tell you exactly what the person said to me who was there. What the person who was there said to me is that on a call for the election, because what happened, they threw me in the pot of the PNP.
Right.
So the person said to me, on a call for the election, but I'm going to get it sooner than nothing. So I don't know what that means.
Well, we're looking.
That's my information there. But here what happened? There was a lot of argument there at Belmont Road because they were saying that trouble in the camp because when they look at, say, Northeast Manchester, there isn't a candidate there. South, that Richard Adams constituency, Northwest St. Catherine, that is, there's trouble there because it seems as if the young what's the former senator newbie cutting it. There is still divide there because young Dunkley is not a happy camper. Also in South Manchester, although they put in Ives, but of course you know that there was this cry about the vote buying down there. So all in all, a lot of fidgeting around. Well, they believe that South Manchester, you know, they're not so concerned with South Manchester because South Manchester, they say it is a natural PNP then, and that will go back to the PNP. But they were looking at, say, for example, a Northwest Clarendon that they think they would be able to salvage something from.
With Azan, you mean with Azan?
With Azan.
No, man, Azan win every other election, so them can't have no chance.
Yeah, Azan is good. Azan is good. But because of the fact that they're saying that, listen, in order to win election, they will have to have that one in there. So that is a major concern for them.
They're not going to have that one.
Major concern for them. Of course, there was also the concern about those 2 seats in St. Elizabeth. Southeast and Southwest.
All right, Obi, we're going to bring in Schoolboy right now because the people on Caribbean Radio, they are going to a break. So let's bring in Schoolboy. Head boy, go ahead.
Head boy.
Hey brother, let me tell you, Obi is onto something, but I want to go more detail. Yes? When the meeting commenced yesterday at Belmont Road, the first order of business was no phones were allowed.
No phones.
You hear me? No phones were allowed.
Yes.
The night, I don't know if you know, but the night before, they had a birthday party for a councillor from northern St. Andrew. That's the seat that Kalsamuda has. Yeah. So it has been circulating on TikTok where the councillor was referring to Delano Seabright as my MP.
Oh.
And it didn't go well. It didn't go down well with certain people in the parliament.
Tell her. Hey.
Yeah. So it never go well because remember that the mission is on now to ensure that Seabright and the young man that ran up in Northwest Clarendon, young newbie, don't get a seat.
Oh.
Because what is happening, you know, is if anybody understands politics, Andrew Holness is preparing to lose the next election. So what they're preparing for is an internal challenge.
Right. So so man fix up themselves.
Man fix up themselves. Right? What I heard, some of the councillors from Kingston, right? Meaning the one from Central Kingston is only one JLP councillor down in Central Kingston, you know. She was not happy. She was not happy because them felt that the way Andrew Holness was speaking to them yesterday was like when Mr. Siaga used to discipline them.
Hello! Andrew get bad.
Him get bad. Me yourself bad would start cussing at me, you know, man.
You think him going to beat anybody like how Desmond did get beaten?
Well, if they deserve it, they will.
Tell her. Me don't want $1. Can't turn you.
So the next section of the meeting really based upon my information.
Yes.
Obi covered that. They were saying they were actually preparing for the election, but the problems that they are facing internally, which I pointed out yesterday, is making it difficult for them to really call election. Because if people understand that same Northwest Clarendon seat, right?
Yes.
That seat has never been won by the JLP has never formed government without having Northwest Clarendon. It's one time they never had it that way.
You mean Azan seat?
It's only 2016 Azan win that seat and was in opposition. Anywhere that seat go, it normally go with the government. So if the JLP win a farm government, they normally have Northwestern Clarendon.
But as I said to you, Comrade Azan win every other election.
Yeah, so this is his time now to win the other
time
election.
now, then can't beat him this time. Tell her. Keep your dollar.
No, the sweet part of it was that when the...
Hold on, Obi. Go ahead, boy.
A lot of the councillors, a lot of the persons who were summoned were not happy. And the battle lines were drawn yesterday because what is being said is that there's also the imposition in some of these seats, Northeast Manchester, of candidates that are aligned to the party leader.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and the same imposition in the Northern St Andrews seat, Northern St Andrews seat, which sees the battle between Delano Seabright and young Tavares.
It's one thing I'm saying to the people of Jamaica, though, and to the people of that constituency. If Carl Samuda run back, they must vote him out. It's not supposed to happen. Carl Samuda is how old? 83?
85.
Roundabout.
Babsy Grange is how much? 79?
Yeah.
She shouldn't run back either. How old is Desmond McKenzie?
70-something too. Going in the same region.
No.
But remember, there's an unset settlement in St. Elizabeth too, because Northwest St. Elizabeth with JC Hutchinson, they haven't decided who's going to run this.
But JC said him not going back.
Him say not go back, or them say him can't go back. Which one?
No, whichever. And what happened there is a principal there for, I think it's the Lacovia High School. He is the person who is cited to be the replacement there. The PNP has settled on their candidate there, the young teacher there, forgot her name just now. But there's also another seat that is now represented in Parliament by MP Taylor, where Raymond Price is a candidate for the PNP. And that seat, that is why the gerrymandering, or what is now famously called the terrymandering,
the attempt
they were pushing for it so hard, because that seat certainly seems as if Raymond is leading inside there. Raymond, the PNP is leading in there in a big way. What happened? Sunday, the JLP is kicking off its constituency conferences on Sunday. And if you notice, it's not by accident.
But hold on, Obi, hold on. Is this the time of the year that they normally do constituency conferences?
No.
But what happened because of the whole thing that neither political party will be going to an annual conference. So apparently they will be pushing things ahead. But it would be the divisional conference, but I'm seeing where they're going straight to a constituency conference on Sunday in that constituency. What's the name of that constituency again, boy?
East Central St. Catherine.
So Sunday they're going to be having a constituency conference in there?
Constituency conference. It's now being promoted both on social media and on mainstream radio. The person who voiced the promo is Currency Morrison, right? And what they're doing, they're bringing in a lot of heavyweight. The Prime Minister is the main speaker there.
That now look like election.
Yes, they're starting there to basically see how they can buttress the stock of Terry Long, because I gather that he basically fell quite a few notches.
But
there.
remember, Obi and Brother Colin, you know why they're doing that? Remember on Sunday, the PNP had a meeting over in Lime Tree Grove. Yeah?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did you know that police officers were brought to lock up to turn off the meeting?
Yeah, man, I saw it. It's on social media.
And you know why that is?
They're under pressure.
Because the annexing or the gerrymandering or terrymandering did not work out. They are now worried about the impact that Lime Tree is going to have on them.
Oh.
Yeah? Because that Lime Tree box is a strong PNP box.
But GLP is showing their desperation all over. They are taking down PNP billboards in St. James.
Yes, they are.
But Billboard now win election, so they could take them down.
But it is illegal
yeah,
for them to be taking them down in an election time.
It is. It is. Once you're 6 months out, you are authorized to do it, and then you have about 2-3 months after to take them down.
Fire their must steal, gentlemen. Fire.
Anyway,
As a matter of fact, hold on, it's not just in St. James, and this is also Purline all over the place. The brother of the MP for Eastern St. Elizabeth, Southeast St. Elizabeth, he took down Norman Scott's billboard, and I spoke to one of a very strong operative within the Jamaica Labour Party camp, a female, and she actually said, listen, he took it down in the middle day to show that, listen, afraid of nobody.
Oh?
Right? Afraid of nobody. The brother of Franklin Witter, he went down there and he took down Norman Scott's billboard. And that is, we as a matter of fact, Colin, we have the receipt. We have the receipt. I can send it to you.
Yes. Time for the political ombudsman. Time for the political ombudsman.
Absolutely, and I want to just say this. I want to say this, Colin, because I'm going to move and listen to you and Ed Boy. I will say this: that the police, please don't allow yourself to be political pawns.
Thank you.
Please, you have a duty, and we expect a professional job now. And it is very worrying. It is very worrying that the senior member of parliament, no other than Mr. Fitz Jackson, talk to the police officer, let him know that his superior had basically signed off on the permit for the conference. And that meant nothing to him. He went ahead and
Fitz Jackson was a former Minister of National Security.
National Security.
You remember that?
Junior Minister.
Junior Minister.
Little more.
All right.
Bless up. Yeah, man. Ed Boy.
Yeah, man. As I wrap up, Colin, all I have to say, right? They could have go dig up Siaga. They could have go dig up Bustamante. They could have go dig up Eulas and Shearer. Right? Sir Donald Sangster. Right? Any one of them want to dig up. The result will be the same. I am predicting proudly now there will be 41 seats for the People's National Party. I'm going to leave you.
Blessings, my brother.
All the best.
Ah, yes, the Colin Bell Show. Once again, we want to congratulate Titchfield High School. And we want to big up all teachers. And I want to remind you, my people, that schools are the first training place for our children. It is not just learn to read and write. It is a training institution, our schools. And we are dropping the baton by leaving out certain things and allowing children to do whatever they want. And that's why they are getting harder and harder to train. Because when we miss the boat at school, the early age, we are creating trouble. Schools are the first training institution for our children. Thanks to our teachers for doing what you all have been doing. Thanks to Senator Norman Grant for gracing us with his presence this evening, talking about agriculture and the coffee. Thanks to Senator Gabriela Morris. We call her right off the ball, we call her. Wasn't planned. But you know we have the links. So we call her and we chat to her. Water is life. We're calling on the Ministry of Health and the National Water Commission to just come clean with the people, make the people know, say, listen, boil the water. Our watershed area is supposed to be properly secured. And we have to start step up them thing there. We have to start step up the security of our shorelines. And we have to get serious about protecting the health of our people. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again right here so Saturday morning, please everybody remember to share, subscribe, and like up the channel. And if you want to contribute to Portland Spice TV for the work that we've been doing, we are not being paid for the work, we just do the work. So if you want to contribute to the movements, click on our profile, go to the description, and you see how you can contribute to Portland Spice TV. Once again, thanks to you for watching. And remember to join us Saturday morning. And if you click the notification bell, every time we post, you will see what we post, because we have some interesting things that we are posting right here, giving you the information that you should have. And for those of you overseas, implore your people in Jamaica to vote for the People's National Party. We not hide with political alliance. We are aligned to the People's National Party, but we talk truth. Only the truth. We're not telling a lie in no party or no guy. So until we meet again Saturday morning, one love, my people. Bless up.